All right, in this video, we're going to make a confidence interval. And this is a really stupid example, but hopefully it'll drive home how confidence intervals work. So remember what a confidence interval is for. We take a sample and we calculate a statistic, X bar, and then we go plus or minus 2 times the standard error of the mean. Now I'm going to broaden or generalize this a little bit. We've been using 2, but we're going to see actually that when we make these, we're going to use 1.96. And we're going to see actually that when we don't have a large sample, we need to use a different multiplier, which is known as T. So that's a little clickbait. We're going to get to that. But in general, we said that we take our mean here, plus or minus a multiplier times the SEM. And we're going to make our own confidence interval. And I'm going to tell you a little story first. Monica, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. You see this?
Yes.
What's this?
It's a Frisbee.
This is a Frisbee, great. So I used to play a sport. When I was your age, I used to play a sport called Ultimate Frisbee, where people just run around. It's kind of like football and soccer mixed together with a lot of marijuana, and you just throw these things around to each other. And what happens is we used to do this thing called like initiation or hazing. I'm recording this in 2020 and you don't do those things anymore. But with the initiation we used to do when you played Ultimate Frisbee is you would take a Frisbee like this, which is a standard 175 gram piece of plastic made by a company called Discraft in Michigan. And you would take this Frisbee and you would tell someone, I bet you can't drink a Frisbee full of beer. All right. Monica, how many beers do you think you could fit in this Frisbee, roughly?
I'm going to say 1.
Most people think 1 or 2, right? And what you see happens is when you start, can you see this? When you start to pour this in, you see very quickly that this Frisbee can hold much more than just 1 beer. And rumor becomes, or conventional wisdom is such that you can pour 6 beers into a Frisbee. So we wanted to test this. So my friends and I, we actually did this. We randomly went out and we got 10 Frisbees from across New England. So we went to sports stores like Dick's and Boston Ski and Sports, and we got 10 of these discs. And we filled them up with beer. And we found, this is the bullet point in the middle, we found that on the average, they held 56.5 ounces. That's our X bar, right? That's our mean. And we measured the spread of those, and the standard deviation was 1.97. And it was normally distributed like many things are. So we could draw a distribution like this, and here's our mean, 56.5. And you know if the standard deviation is about 2, then this would be 58.5. And right here would be, say, 60.5, and so on. Now, we realize that each Frisbee is different. We realize that each sample is different. And if you had taken a different sample of n equals 10, you would get a different estimate of what the truth is. So what is the truth? What does the Frisbee, the average Frisbee, the prototypical, the mu, the Greek Frisbee, how much does it actually hold? Make a confidence interval. So X bar here, plus or minus 2 times the SEM, which is driven by that standard deviation and that sample size. And so we'll see this on the next slide. We can calculate the SEM. That's the standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. And so that's this. Now, let's pause for a second. Remember, the SEM describes how much do means bounce around randomly. So if we were to do this again and again and again, there'd be a lot of Frisbees, it'd be a lot of beer, but it would also be a lot of observations of how these means bounce around. Now, we can take our estimate, which is 56.5, and we can go plus or minus the multiplier times the SEM, and we get a confidence interval. And it's this very special wording. We are 95% confident that the average Frisbee, and as you're learning this, maybe you can even take capital A, capital F, right? The average Frisbee holds between this and this, 55 and 57. with our best estimate being 56.5. What this means is that, look, in a 6-pack of beer, you'd have 72 ounces of beer. That's nowhere near what we think the truth is. So we could say, I don't think you can fit a full 6-pack of beer inside a Frisbee.